Hey, this is Kapoww. We're gonna look at one of my own demos. I'm gonna try to walk you through thought process, so decisions that I make, what I see. I don't have comms, so I'm gonna try to go off what I remember hearing, and we'll just look at this from there. Okay, so we come into mid, and what I want to look for are things that are overextended, things that are on other players. Whether that's soldiers that are on our players, or our soldier bombing into them and they're distracted on him. So we're gonna just play this. Kosa hits this demo here for a lot, so I'm gonna push into him. I get this trade, and from here it's not really a big deal if I die. So this scout pushes me on this left side, and I'm gonna try to fight him. Notice I don't have anything loaded and corns to my left. So I'm going to try to walk him into him. Okay, so I end up dying, our med dies right here, and our scout and soldier are going to try to clean it up. I mean, their main goal here is to get the other medic. If it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. So their medic stays up, and we're going to have to reset on our last. Okay, so since our spawns were pretty early, or rather mine was, and that fight was really long, we're going to peek this out here a bit. I'm not really looking to take a fight with that scout, but Boink gets someone under, so we're going to come out here a bit. Our combo should have moved up onto point, and that's why I pushed this area. So our scout peeks this door, and I end up eating a rocket because he misses. So we're going to back up to last since we lost a soldier and a scout. And they're just going to try to play last. So they should still have you. We're going to come out and play this. I'm going to push this demo here because he should be defending point, but notice that I'm really hurt and actually should have died there. So we're going to peek into this lobby here, and our medic didn't die. We're going to have Uber soon, so that's why they're playing really far back. I'm not too scared to come onto this point even though they're pretty healthy and ready to spam. So I'm going to cap this point, and we end up losing our pocket, so we're going to have to back up here. So we decide to hold this point because we lose our pocket, and we basically just set up and wait for his respawn. I'm going to peek connector, and we see that everyone's on our side. So I move around, just kind of poking them from different directions. So basically, one big thing on Scout is you always want to kind of pressure them from a different angle. If you can. Obviously, if people are lit, you can kind of just run into them, but usually it's a good idea to hit them from the side. I mean, it basically guarantees them that they're not looking at you, and also, if they are looking at you, they're not looking at the other person that was shooting them. Alright, so same thing here. I got the demo, so he's not going to play up most likely. He's probably going to play it a bit more slow, possibly go on the other side. So I'm just going to set on my demo here and see what I can get. So nothing comes out here. And so there's a scout that's going to be pushing that right side. I don't really get anything on this left side. Alright, that scout was there. I'm trying to kind of push him off, I guess, with 2 shots. Doesn't really work. So I see that these soldiers are ready to jump, and that's why I try to fight him. So I end up denying the soldier, almost killing him, but he ends up getting me. So I denied that soldier, and it's basically up to my team to play this mid. So one important thing is to take the point. That's not just on this mid. If you can get a good position, it's always good. Alright, so we end up winning the mid. I'm just going to fast forward this. So I am on mid. So I believe both medics are up, so we're going to try to go for a pick on flank. So I almost die and we actually lose Boink here. Okay, I should have died there. So we're going to back up, we're going to play mid. And we just set up to get our respawns back. I'm pretty hurt and someone just took the kill on that right side, so I'm just going to wait. If something comes into me, I can leave, and if not, I can go get that kid. So our demo comes through and I just want to make sure we can cover his entry, or his exit rather. So we know that we almost have Uber, so I'm going to push into lobby here. Both these picks were really easy, and lucky rather. The second one was the lucky pick. We come out, we already have this cap, and we can keep moving. So I come back here and make sure I'm connected with our medic, make sure that they have someone in their Uber if they need it, instead of just walking through. So our scout almost has the cap, so I'm going to help him out. And we're going to make sure that we try to just walk into last here. So I'm not really sure what the Uber advantage is. We should still have, so we're going to walk in if we do. Alright, so we're going to slow this down right here. Okay, so I walk in and everything is really far away from me, so notice that everything's kind of near spawn, like in this general area. I have a class, or possibly 2 players on my team that are trying to come through the right side, whether that's just our soldier or a scout and soldier. So I'm going to move over here on the right side, which is the closest thing, and try to help me get through this door. And once we do that, I'm just going to sit here. So notice that the heavy is the biggest target. I don't see the soldier on the left yet. I know that there are people in lobby from our calls. So we're basically going to try to focus this heavy down, and I'm going to try to get on point because I have a good position to do it. So I'm going to move to point, and so from here, after we get the heavy, that soldier, even though he's on our medic, isn't my biggest issue. If he's shooting at our medic, then I'm going to get this point. And this scout to my right that you can't see right now is coming straight at me, so I'm going to try to kill him and we'll see how this goes. So basically you want to come in and play the point if you can. There's no point dying for it unless you're calling for a sack and you're demonstrating the point. But if you can always work in, play it, and make sure you're not leaving it for people that aren't really a big threat, then it's pretty good. So we're going to slow this one down too. So we come in, I'm just going to play on this right side. I don't see anything, so I make sure I get onto higher ground. Okay, so from here, the only thing I can see right now is the demo. So everything's moving under the point, and what I can do is turn my back to the demo and try to get them as they come under. But what they're doing is leaving their demo here. He's distracted on the soldier, so I decided that I'm going to kill him. So he spams the soldier, and we end up getting both soldiers to jump him. So I'm not really worried. I back up because that soldier is hurt, but I'm hurt as well. He gets on our team, and we basically just focus him down. And our scout dies because he tried to sword him. So we're just going to get this cap, and I'm going to fast forward this as we get spawns. Okay, so we win this mid, but we're not sure where anyone is. So notice the medic's alone. We're not really sure where anyone else is, so we're just going to play mid. And I'm going to build. We're going to try to regroup on this point and just build Uber.
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
Okay, so right here what I do is I like to get some damage on people before, if they decide they want to push. So even though we need to leave, it's a good idea to get the force out if they are coming in. And so what I can do is deny potential jumpers, but also I can get some entry damage, I can see what's coming in. So we're going to go from here. So they decide they're not pushing, they're going to back up, so I'm going to move up a bit and see what I can see. Nothing's there, so I just kind of make sure I'm always buffed up. I think I answer a Steam message here. And we're kind of just stalemating, so we just want to make sure we watch the entrances. Alright, so we get a buff, we make sure we watch the entrances, everyone just kind of sits around for a while, and we're gonna actually see if we can get anything. So the soldier's close to flank. I'm gonna move up and make sure he doesn't do anything. So what Boink and I usually do on flank is he'll jump in and I'll try to get something with him if nothing's happening. Usually we can try to get a flank pick, or we go for a straight bomb. So I missed that shot on the soldier, and we don't really get anything on that scout. So it's a very risky play, and usually you don't get it unless you get someone caught out. Like, usually if there's one soldier there and you catch him off by the jump, then you might get him. But usually it's not really a play that's like really worth doing, or rather safe. So in a match, what we would honestly do is just sit on mid. In a scrim where people aren't really too worried about doing everything right, we can jump in. Okay, so right here, even though our scout is fighting under, I'm going to move up on a higher ground to play this. So if this soldier kills him, like drops down to kill him, I'll still have height advantage. So that's what it really comes down to. So our scout, notice the other scout in the lower left corner. He's fighting two scouts right now, so he doesn't have the greatest chance of living. So I'm going to try to profit off of that, and I'm going to come up here and play this left side. So we lose him and we're going to back up. And I end up taking this fight right here. Okay, so our Uber comes in because we have. So our combo should have actually led with that. Right, so our scouts shouldn't have been in, or rather our combo should have been ahead of us. So we come in with the Uber late and notice that our scout just died and I backed up. But I come back in because we pop in. And I kind of take this fight, which is kind of a surprise as that scout pushes the flank. I kind of try to play with our med here. Okay, so this soldier is going to be the biggest issue. Okay, he comes in with health most likely. So I'm going to make sure he dies because he's the biggest threat. Because three of us in alley is kind of a big... It's a big and easy area to splash. So I make sure to focus that soldier, we get that scout, and then we try to kill this scout. I pulled my pistol for some reason. It was, I ended up hitting the wrong key. And I ended up dying. So one thing I'll do is, when I moved up the ramp, I move up because I don't want to eat the same spam. So if he does end up hitting our demo, I'm not going to get hit by the same rocket. If he decides to shoot for me, our demo's not going to hit. So by me moving up there, I could have died, for sure.
Hi guys.
If he decided to go for me. Alright, so right here, their mumble dies, so we're going to come back when it's back up. So I'm just going to skip this. Alright, so we're back and their mumble's back up. So right now we're not really doing anything, we're just watching flank. We want to make sure that nothing comes through. But nothing really is going to come through. So, right, like a stalemate, you're kind of sitting here, you wait for a bomb, you try to get for a pick. So we lose Boink on flank again, and we're basically forced to back up. So again, like in a match, we wouldn't really play that flank very hard. So I engage with this soldier because he should be a free pick. If he's going to walk in, I need to make sure I pressure him. He doesn't have the medic, and he doesn't have heals. So he comes in and we make sure he gets punished for it. So as our combo moves back left, I believe, I'm going to move over to this right side and kind of pepper them through main as they're coming through. So they get through and I want to just back up, they pop, I'm going to get this kit and see if I can leave.
Alert. The control point is being
We just had to leave, so I come back, peek the lobby because someone's in here. Our demo's going to die. So I'm just going to hide here because I don't know where people are. So we have a soldier that's walking around somewhere. He ends up being in the lobby fighting. So keep note that there's no comms here. Right? So if I knew that soldier was fighting, I would have came in and fought with him. Okay, so this decision is just based on damage. I see that our soldier hits him for at least 70, as I was led to believe. I ended up doing like 150 to him. So I missed the last shot, and that could have killed him. I could have gotten the demo. But it's basically just a messy fight, and it's a greedy choice that I make fighting him. So I mean, out of this, what's important is that we calmed so that I could have came into lobby to fight it, but also that I shouldn't have pushed this demo into this area. I mean, I'm kind of guaranteed to die in this like elbow, especially with the soldier here. So that's a bad decision on my part. So we're 2 down, and we're basically forced to leave. I think we have a player behind them. So Corin's gonna sit here. Sorry, our scout is trying to peek, see if he can get something based on that soldier. And we lose him, so we're just gonna try to back up. Alright, so I come back in. They're pushing lower. I can't really do anything here, so I'm just gonna peek this lower area. Again, I can't push that demo because I'm gonna get killed. So there are a lot of areas that are a bad idea to fight in, and not only just because they're pushing in. If there's a dumb area, like an open area where it's dumb for the demo to push, I would punish him for it. But right now, they're just big, close quarter areas that I would just die. So okay, so right here I end up building from our 85 and make sure that we get this Uber. We do lose a lot of people, but honestly in a mid that's this close without a heavy and possibly a gun, we don't really have that big of a chance. As long as they don't mess up their push, they're gonna win. So I try to get the Uber and I try to play it, but I get blasted up into the air and then 2-shot on point. So same thing right here. I'm just gonna fast forward. Alright, so we come in at mid. I'm gonna try to push up this left side. So one thing that's always important is changing your mids up. Notice that I've gone under twice and played the ground. The first time I pushed the demo, and the second time I played on that left side, I believe. Last mid I jumped up on the right crate and then jumped around up top. It's important to change around your mids. That's not only because your team might be changing up your mid, but also because the enemy won't expect it. If they know that the soldier or X class is always in Y position, then they can play around that. Okay, so they're all on this left side, so I'm not going to end up pushing him. I see this soldier that's pushing under, kind of alone, so I'm going to try and kill him. So I can go for that scout over there and jump to the left. But right now, since our medic's on this right side and we have 2 other players here, I'm going to focus on this soldier that comes in. Okay, so the next closest thing to me is this soldier that's hurt. And then again right here, so we see the scout. I make sure to come back and help our scout if he ends up pushing him, even though he's leaving. And then we're going to try to go for this kill. So right here I'm going to get greedy and try to get this kill. I see that the demo stickies this up, but I'm not really worried. Okay, so that's greedy, right? I figure that if the demo deaths, I'm going to die. But what I didn't expect was him to death so that I couldn't jump. So the idea was that I was going to jump under and kill that scout, but he dead and I just kind of hit the bridge. So avoid doing this. Avoid chasing really hard because I wasn't really going to get anything. But we're going to get this cap. We're 2 down, so we're going to try and hold mid connector or lobby is what most people call it. Check corners even though there's most likely not anyone hiding. We have people trying to peek flank again. So here, We go in, we trade. I got destroyed by a nice rocket that blasted me into him, and there was a point blank rocket from there. We got their demo. It's basically a very scrappy fight from here. So we have a scout under fighting. I'm going to be up in a second. We get a soldier, we lose the soldier, and we get both scouts. So I'm going to come in here. We have the second cap.
Time has been added.
So I get a lot of questions over choice of winger and normal pistol. And usually I choose the winger. It just opens up a lot of areas on the map for you to jump on that you normally wouldn't do. Kind of like on this last, you can jump from the point, I believe, through the window, or from the bridge through the window or something. Same thing with other maps, like on Snakewater you can jump onto the house from the other side. Normally you can't do that, and honestly, like 90% of the time it won't come down to using a pistol. So by taking away my pistol, I'm forced to kind of play it a bit slower so I can reload. So that means like less spamming for like 10 damage shots, and more of just actually making it count and reloading. So notice that I like kind of spam for like 5 damage. This is something that I need to work on, because it really doesn't do anything. So this fight right here is fine. I try to go for the pick, but I don't get anything, so I just back up. So we're getting ready to push in here. So I'm going to take this Uber in. I try to get that sticky. Okay, so right here, notice that the medic has, but it hasn't popped yet. So what I'm going to do is try to make sure that he pops. So he does end up popping, and I rotate on this left side. Our team is leaving, so I'm going to make sure I leave as well. Okay, so we lose our medic here, and their medic is still up and Ubered, right? So everyone's healthy. We're going to lose second for sure, because we just lost our medic. So what I'm going to try to do is hide and kind of play, like maybe get a pick or two, like a trade. So it's kind of risky, not always advised. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I get this soldier who isn't really ready, so I figure I'm going to go for it again. They're going to know that I'm in that left lobby, or assume that I am, just based on calls. I come up to help our soldier, but we ran into the comm and most likely dead.